Tim, should we tell the listeners how to join the Golf Week Amateur Tour?
Yes, of course. We should probably do it now before we forget, though.
I agree. It's simple. All you need to do is go to amateurgolftour.net, click the Join the Tour button, and pay your local tour's membership.
Thanks, Chris. Membership for 2024 is open, so register today to join the oldest, largest, and best amateur tour in the country.
And remember, this podcast can be found on all the major platforms. So make sure you like, download, and share it with all your friends and family.
Chris, that's a great idea. Now, on to the show. Welcome back, Chris. Hope you made it home from Vegas all right.
Yes, I did. It was a fun time. Great to see everybody. Even better time at the airport. When you have some time to spare, you can actually gamble there at the airport. And it turned out to be a very successful hour and a half wait. But glad to be back and start our season pretty quickly.
Yeah. A bunch of us that went out there came back winners. We won't talk too much about what we won with or what we came home with, but we came back winners.
Yes, we did. I think the whole group did for a while there.
Yeah. Anyway, like I said, we're back and ready to get the tournament started. You were in Phoenix last week and got another one coming up. So ready to get started?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Golf Week Amateur Tour, the podcast. Talking about all things Golf Week Amateur Tour, including interviews with tour directors, players, and course pros. Now, here are your hosts, Atlanta Tour Director Tim Newman and El Paso Las Cruces Director Chris Rocha.
All right, Chris. It's been 2 weeks since Vegas. Hope you recovered, and I know you had tournament this past weekend, and last week you were in Phoenix. Why don't you tell me what happened in Phoenix?
Yeah, Vegas was fun. We'll go over play by play of how I played. It wasn't very, very pretty, but the jokes of my putting keep coming up on the live podcast, and I guess I got to fix that if I don't want to be the butt of all the jokes. But that was fun. Went up to Phoenix. Was a different mood there. We did lose one of our members to cancer, so literally the day before. So it was a little tough, but it was nice to see Gabe won for his flight. Another guy won for his flight. That was one of his best friends. So it was nice to see. It was nice to be there with everybody and just hang out. And talk memories. Again, I was up there in the leaderboard, and then the wheels didn't fall off. They exploded off. My tournament was a bigger turnout than I expected, but we had a great time.
Well, that's good. And we'll talk about, the sad part of it, at the end, where we have a little bit more time, you can go and talk a little bit more about it. But there's nobody that hasn't been touched by cancer.
Right.
I think the tour, we do a pretty good job of bringing awareness to it. And I don't know how much this has been publicized, but, we're moving away from stand up to cancer and moving to, I think it's the V Foundation. If that hasn't been announced yet, I know it's coming soon, but, like I said, we'll talk about that near the last segment of the podcast, because I do want to be able to give you some time to share some thoughts and memories. But, at National Championship, we talked about all the support that we get from the national office and, everything they do. Without them, we can't run the tournaments the way that we run them. The national office brought on a new member, and she has been doing a phenomenal job. Every time she posts something, I'm like, oh my God, that's incredible. The right. Creativity level is off the charts.
Yeah, it's great to have people that can help out. This new person has already given me great ideas just from my tour alone in the last month or two. And it's just something that kind of helps Jennifer and Susan with their day-to-day. But like you said, the posts on social media, if you haven't seen it or you're not following, I suggest you do, especially Facebook, if you want to be part of our shirt contest. But even that idea flourished from some of our new national office member.
Yeah, let's bring Nichole in it. Nichole King, she wears a number of different hats. But Nichole, thanks for everything and welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Well, it's almost embarrassing, because I send you the sound bites, that comes with a nice little logo, and I send it to you, and then you do what you do. You work your magic, and you post it on Facebook, and you take the silly logo or thing that I've sent you, and you get rid of that, and you create this incredible visual that every time I see what you're doing, it really kind of blows me away. So I'm sorry for not coming very strong with what I'm sending you, but I appreciate your willingness to to not laugh too hard and create what you create for us.
Yeah, for sure. I try to make it different because nobody wants to see the same thing, or they probably just think it is the same thing. So you got to make it a little different, and I kind of just go with the flow and wing it.
Well, it's great to see it every week or every 2 weeks that we post something, but even the stuff you put, from national office or the national meeting that we had starting last year, just the evolution that Facebook posts have become is just something that's out of this world right now.
Definitely. Yeah. You want to be different. You want to make it pop. So it's, it attracts everybody to your tour or your site. So I try to make it different, try to make, little logos that stand out. Just like for the shirt contest, it's the podcast shirt contest, but I wanted it to be, just for that.
Well, again, you did a really good job, and I don't want to let the cat out of the bag too much. You created another little video that I think once we put the final touches on that, it's really good.
It's one of my favorites.
It's something that the tour hasn't done. Yeah, well, you did a great job. Like I said, I don't want to let too much out of the bag. There's some more final touches that you have to do with it, and I don't know what the ultimate plan is, but you're doing things that the tour's never done before, and I think it's really going to elevate and bring a little bit more awareness to the tour. That just kind of brings me to a question: how do what's the goal and what's the plan to get users or members a little bit more engaged in social media, whether it be Facebook or Instagram or whatever it is that we're using?
Yeah. So my goal is to, show what Golf Week and the Senior Amateur Tour offers, because I feel like there's a lot of things that we do and they just don't know about it because either they have to find about it on the website and, there's not a lot of social media posts with whatever platform they have, Facebook, Instagram, or whatever. So I try to make it interesting because, you want to catch their eye on what's going on with our tour. And, you want to keep them engaged, not lose them, 5 seconds into a video or whatever. And you want to, on your post, your single post, you want it to, draw their attention for like the main points. So, you want to make things bigger than other things. So you just got to.
So what's your role in the national office?
Sure. So they brought me on to help, like you said, with, Jennifer and Susan's day-to-day task where I'll I'll create all the tours, posters and brochures, and then get those mocked up for them. Any social media posts or videos, which is also for the tours, not just nationals. So if a director came to me and said, hey, can you help me think of something to promote my new side game? I would do that for them. And I try to make it different for everybody so it doesn't all look the same. And, everybody's like, oh, well, they're doing the same thing that this tour is doing, which it might be, but I want it to look different. So it looks different. And then I also help the directors with their website. So if, I will say that is probably the biggest struggle is the homepage, learning that format and making it how, you want it to look. Where that's the first thing that some players look at, and you want it to be, professional looking and not just list everything on your home page where they just scroll and scroll and scroll. And then all of a sudden there's your schedule. You want it to be right there, down to the point. That's what it is. So yeah, I help with directors with their website if, they just don't have the time or they just don't know how to figure it out. So that their website is more engaging, player friendly.
Yeah. Especially with, some of our tour directors, and again, I'm not knocking any of them, but, most of our tour directors don't really have any real background in web design development and marketing and those types of things. So, what you're doing is really beneficial to every tour across the country.
I appreciate it. Yeah. I mean, I enjoy what I do, so I'm glad it's helping other people along the way and, getting their tour out there, to make it bigger than it should be.
So what's your background? Have you always had this creative, I don't know, mindset to you?
So I want to say yes. I feel like my creative side has always been with me since I was young. As professional wise, I wouldn't say I have any background, because I was a manager at Menards for 5 years, and then I worked at a hearing aid office for 7, and then a health software company was my latest job. So it's really, I just kind of, I see things online just like everybody else, and I tell myself, I can make that. So I give it a shot, and it just comes from trial and error and practice. And sometimes it comes out great. Sometimes it, needs a little work, but really that's just how I started. I have an imagination and curiosity. So I just put my mind to it, and I'm open to new experiences and ideas. So it helps me create that on the computer, I guess you could say.
I would have never thought that. Seeing the product you've put out, I would have thought you have a master's in graphic design and all of this other stuff. So it's great to hear that story.
Yeah. I know. You would think, I wish I would have known this is what I loved doing and wanted to do, and then I could have went to school for it. But yeah, that wasn't the case. But I enjoy learning new things. I learn things every day, and not that it's a school, but I will watch videos and try to learn how they did that, because I'm like, that's really cool. I want to know how to do that. And I don't want to make it look janky, so I want it to look right. So I'll try to watch how to actually do things. Well,
that's one of the beauties with technology. If you go to YouTube, there's videos on how to do anything. How to build an engine. How to take videos, what the settings should be, what the lighting should be, how to do graphics, all these different types of things. You can learn how to do it if you just want to spend some time, doing some searches and trying to figure it out. Oh yeah,
definitely. It does take time and patience for sure. Because don't get me wrong, I get my frustrations, and you just got to walk away for a minute and take a moment, and then just come back to it. And I mean, in some programs you might have to spend a little money. Some programs out there are free. So if other directors want to try to do it on their own, great. I mean, there are programs out there that they have a free version, and they could do half the stuff that I do.
Yeah, but it takes time and patience.
Yes.
and some and at least a little bit of technical knowledge or abilities. There are some tour directors, and again, I'm not knocking anybody who aren't as bad as this. Where where I used to work, I used to have to go in and show an individual how to save a file.
Oh boy,
how to do save as, every other day. I mean, I show them like 15 times. It's save as. Now we don't have tour directors that are that bad with technology, but when you're talking about some of the things that you're doing with graphics and sound and video and putting it all together so that it makes sense, you have to have some understanding of technology and how it works.
I agree. I remember training a girl at one of my jobs, and she did. I told her to open up a page, or what do you call it? The Chrome thing. Open up a page, a tab, And she was
That's
like,
yeah.
she's like, what's that? And I go, oh, dear John. And I was pregnant. So I was like, I can't do this.
Sometimes almost like trying to teach guys how to log into live score. I mean, go to the website and go all the way down to the bottom.
That's why I put it on the Kansas tour page right there on the front. Boop, click there.
It's funny sometimes.
Yes,
That's
it is.
a smart idea.
Yep. And I'm actually coming up with something where, because I know everybody's like, oh, I want an app, which is great, but I'm sure that costs a lot of money to create an app and coding and stuff. But I mean, there are other ways to go around it, which it's not technically an app, but like, for example, iPhone, because I'm an iPhone user, you can save that live score on your iPhone that looks like an app. So all they have to do is click that and boom, you don't have to go to the Internet Explorer. It's just right there on your phone. Click that little button. You're in live score.
Yeah, that's true. And thank God you're an Apple person, because we don't Chris, I generally don't deal well with non-Macs.
Me either. I'm like illiterate. I'm like, how do you get to your menu?
Let's take a quick break and hear from our sponsor, Srixon.
A great iron set needs more than good looks. It's got to be fast and got to be pure. But good looks never hurt either. The all-new ZX Mark II irons from Srixon.
How do you live? How do you get through a day without just trying to without destroying your phone?
Yeah.
But yeah. So are you a golfer at all?
I am. Ever since I started helping my dad with the Kansas tour, it got me, I'm there all the time. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start golfing. So I started golfing like a little over a year ago, and I will say it's addicting. I'm not the greatest, but I will say I'm probably an average D flight person. But
well, at least you're playing, and maybe you'll start playing on a tour.
Yeah, I know a lot of our players say, "Why don't you play?" And I go, "Well, who would run the tournament?" So I go, "Well, if it was a shotgun, I could maybe do it, but it would be stressful for me because then I wouldn't be organized with the cash games and all that stuff."
Well, then you get the normal tour director experience.
Yeah, exactly. Some of them don't get that luxury where they have a little assistant to go with them and get to play at every tournament.
So what's your favorite thing about the tour?
I will say probably going to the tournaments. I like getting it organized and checking everybody in and just being there and meeting new people, telling them about the tour. I do. Another favorite part is getting the scorecards ready, because yes, you go in your live score and you print your scorecards, but I put a little twist on mine and I make mine color coded, and I put the sponsor on there. I put what title of the tournament it is, and what holes each flight's supposed to go on, and what holes are your long drive, so that I don't know, it just looks nicer, and sometimes color coded is better for players, so pay attention to. But yeah,
we're not.
Yeah. And I know that they appreciate it too, because one time it was like a 2-day and I was just so tired. I didn't do it on day 2. And they were like, it's not color coded. What holes? I'm like, well, it's written right there. So, but, so I know that they appreciate it.
You throw them off if you don't do it one time.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
I do that with my scorecards. I color code it.
Yeah, it helps a lot.
I do mine too. The only problem is, if you do it wrong one time, they never forget that either.
Yeah.
Like, because how do I know it's actually right? Well, read the rule sheet and you'll know.
Yeah. I did mess up one time, and because I put like, do holes 1, 2, or I did 1-2-4-12. So they thought 4 through 12, when really I was just trying to separate it. And they're like, well, she puts it color coded there and she writes it. So you had 2 ways to look at it. And so I don't use dashes anymore. Let's say that. I use like periods to separate the whole numbers.
They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
if they just read the the rule sheet or the web page or the other any other emails that are sent to them, they'll figure it out.
That too, especially when your dad's the director and he's still asking you. I'm like, you're the one who made up the holes.
Right.
Yeah. So again, you mentioned that you help your dad out, and your dad is Davey King from the Kansas tour. What's that like? What's it like working with your dad?
Well, some.
And remember, he doesn't listen to this, so just go ahead and.
So some days are, so weekends are better than most. And you could tell, we're father-daughter at some tournaments. But I do enjoy working with him. We have a great time. We work well together. He's a better speaker than me, and explains things better to the players, where I'm more behind the scenes and everything. So it just kind of works out well with what we do. And he knows the rules a little bit better than me, since I'm still learning. But I've learned a lot. But I enjoy it because, it gives us something to do as father-daughter, where, sometimes it's hard to find stuff to do father-daughter wise. But we have a good time. Yeah, it's really fun.
How do you keep him focused and on track?
Patient. It takes patience with him. I could say something 4 times to him, and he's still not listening, or he'll ask me the same thing the next day. I'm like, we just talked about this, and so I wouldn't say I really have a way to keep him on track. I just do it. You could ask players on the tour, like, who really runs the tour, but no, he's great at, what he does, his part or his role. He's a better public person than me, where I'm kind of shy, and I'll be like, tell him this. So, and he's not shy, he'll walk into Casey's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And,
well, your dad is doing a phenomenal job, and part of it is like you said, his personality, and he's all over the place all the time, and so being able to have somebody like you there that can kind of guide him when he starts getting veering off, and come on back, and that the players have got to appreciate your role in that.
Definitely. I like just, because whenever he does the plays in the tournaments, he'll do the first tee box if it's tee times and announce everybody. And then he's B flight. So I have to come out there in the middle of it. And he sometimes I'll be like, it's 5 minutes till the first tee time. Like, what are you doing? You always complain about pace of play. Like, you're not even on the tee box with them. So, sometimes I'm like, go. I have to yell at him, because he'll just lose track of time because he's out running. Like, people are like, where's your dad at? I'm like, I have no idea. I was like, he's somewhere.
He's talking to somebody
he's talking somewhere. So and then after it gets to his tee time, I'll take over and I'll announce all the players on the first tee box to keep it going and make sure everybody's teed off at the right time. And so it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, I've got 2 adult daughters myself, and I try and do things, like you said, sometimes it's hard, and now that we have a little bit of distance, where they live and where I live. But the most recent thing, I was working with my younger daughter, and I'm driving her nuts because she's being her. And I'm driving her nuts because I'm being me. She's driving me nuts because she's being her. But at the end of the day, we both really enjoy that time and those, those interactions. So, cherish them while you have them.
But yeah, I definitely cherish, those times with Dad, to say the least, just because, you don't know how much longer you have with them. But and when we go to tournaments, I definitely drive separate because I can't handle his driving. It's crazy. But no, we get there at the same time, and we set up everything, and we have a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait to put my kids to work at the tournaments.
They're young, aren't they?
They're 11 and 8, but eventually they'll be out there setting up flags or doing something. We'll figure something out.
There you go. They could be ball spotting.
Yeah, they get too distracted.
They'll go run around in the woods.
That sounds like my son.
They'll go run in the desert.
Or
Yeah,
they'll
my
go pick up
son's
the ball
6,
and be
and
like, look what I found.
yes, yeah. Yeah, if me and Reese are not moving on the golf cart, he is gone.
Well, Nichole, thank you so much for all that you do, for the tour and what you're doing for the podcast and us and posting all of our content. Really looking forward to the first month of shirt entries to see what you can come up with for that, how that gets laid out. I know I've got my vision and I'll do that, but I'll send it to you and you'll probably say we're not doing any of that. We'll do something that looks better than that. So, but that's coming up real soon. Today's the where this episode comes out on the 29th. So we should have our first entries here in the next couple of days, Chris.
Yes, I am pushing that for my tournament, so we will see what happens. It's supposed to be nice weather, so they can have it worn throughout the round.
Let's hope so.
Awesome. I can't wait to see him.
All right, Nichole, again, thanks so much for all that you do for us. I appreciate it. Thanks for spending some time with us this morning, and we'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Tim, what a great interview with Nichole. It's great to have her on staff now, but also the incredible work she's been doing on social media is just top notch, and I think it just takes the tour in general on a whole new level.
Yeah, it really does. The creativity that she has, the speed in which she turns things around, and really is, like you said, taking things in a whole different direction that we've never had before. 40-some tour directors who are doing their best, and most of us don't have the skills or the background or to be able to do some of the things that she's doing. And like I said, every time she posts something, I'm like, oh my God, it's the creativity and where that stuff comes from is like you said, just really incredible.
Yeah, it's been great to see. I've already reached out for a couple things, but I mean, just the different mindset of somebody that's not really a tour director, but knows what we're looking for, is just great to have that extra mindset. So it's been great to be able to talk to her, introduce her to everybody that's on a tour with us, and can't wait to see what the future holds as far as our social media goes.
Yeah, and especially all the help she's given us with the shirt contest and posting these podcast episodes for us.
Yes, it's been great. It's been a lot of help, especially I bet on your end as well.
Oh, absolutely. So let's go ahead and transition now. I know the NFL playoffs are in full swing, and Kansas City played Buffalo this past weekend. So we're going to go from Kansas up to New York Upstate and talk to the New York Upstate tour director, Adam Cahill. Adam, welcome, bud.
Hey, how you doing?
Awesome. How's the weather up there, and are you a Bills fan?
Let's take a quick break and hear from our sponsor, Srixon.
ZX Mark II drivers are for major players, major winners, major power. All new ZX Mark II drivers, only from Srixon.
The weather right now is a mix of rain and snow, but I'm actually not a New York fan at all. I'm a Green Bay Packers fan, so I had a rough Saturday night with a missed field goal, like Buffalo understands. And another year that we lose to the 49ers. So I was happy with the Packers season, but unfortunately we fell short, just like Buffalo, based on field goals. But hey, that's football, I guess.
Yeah, the Packers really kind of surprised me right, at the end of the season, about the middle of the year, okay, they're going to miss the playoffs, and they really came on strong, and the way they handled, one of my favorite teams, Dallas, was just, phenomenal. I mean, I really love that.
Yeah, we definitely handled them for a little bit, but
yeah, thank God. By the way, there's no Dallas fans on here at all, so
that's good.
So tell us a bit about yourself. You're going into is this your third year? Going into your third year?
Yeah, third year coming up. Yeah.
How'd you get involved in the tour?
Well, I originally, what happened is that in 2020, January, my father passed away. He and my mom lived down in Little River. So at the time, I worked for the state, we were in a shutdown based on COVID, so we were working from home 100%. So, at the time when my father passed, I went down to Myrtle Beach, and I had the honor, and privilege to be down there for 5 months. And being a avid golfer for pretty much most of my life, the weather was nice compared to New York in January. I looked online and I Googled, tours in Myrtle Beach, and I came across the Golf Week Am Tour. And I got on the website, looked around, and saw the different events at some courses that I usually have known well, because I always go down there at least once a year or once every other year. Since I was little, we'd have family reunions there. So a lot of the courses I knew, and I remember playing, I said, wow, this looks really great. So I ended up playing over in Oyster Bay, which is in Calabash, North Carolina, and met the director at the time there, and played and ended up winning my first event. And I joined as a member that year. And I remember after that tournament, I said, this is fantastic. How do we get it up in New York? Because in New York, there was nothing really going on except for what we call it the New York State Golf Association. And a lot of it's just gross net. And I wasn't really a fan of that as a competitive golfer. And he's like, if you want one, start one. And I'm like, start one. So in February, I ended up on board as a tour director, and obviously trying to get the information out was a little bit more difficult because it's a brand new thing. So luckily, during that same time frame, there was a golf expo going on in Albany, New York, where we're located right now. And in our first year, we ended up with 74 members total, and this past year, we had, I think, 89, I believe we ended at. So, that's how I got involved in the actual Golf Week Am Tour. I believe I played 7 or 8 events in Myrtle Beach, and just that was it. I was sold on it. I said I want it up in New York, and, it's been a great time since, with all of the things going on up here now, and the word's finally getting out a lot in the local area. So that's really good for upstate New York.
That's awesome. I mean, just being able to, that's how I was. I started just by playing. And then next thing you know, maybe 8-9 years later, I'm running a golf tour. So kind of falls in your lap at some point. But great to hear that, you were able to find the tour and you enjoyed it that much that you wanted to keep doing, and, basically starting a tour that you wanted to promote out there, that you enjoy playing in.
Yeah, and I knew, a lot of the times, as a low handicap golfer, I mean, a lot of times you're playing with guys who in tour lingo are C and D flight players. And a lot of the times they would be too intimidated to go play in these New York Golf Association events. So, with this tour, I knew that if I bring it up to New York, a lot of my friends in general would benefit from this because of the tournament feel, the live scoring, the banners and flags being up, a lot of people there to compete, everything that you feel while you play, just even, a 2-foot putt for par, feels a little different than when you're playing just for fun on a Saturday with your friends. So I knew that this would intrigue a lot of the golfers up in the, New York area, because most of the people in this local area are just weekend warrior golfers. They just go out and, pick up gimmies. And so they never felt tournament action. So that's why I, was really intrigued with how the Golf Week Tour was, and just the longevity of how long it's been around. And, talking with Dennis, for the first time, before I came on board, I could just tell his passion for the game itself. So that really, helped me, grow, to start it just in general with him, and I talking.
You're a champ flight player, right?
Yeah, I'm a champ flight. Yeah.
And, Chris, we've talked about, a number of times that, how the champ flight really kind of drives, the local tours. So having a good, strong champ flight and having a tour director as a champ flight player, that's a strong champ flight player is it's really good.
Yeah. That's what we're trying to build on. The last few years is that, we're trying to build that champ flight to be, pretty substantial. I mean, right now, I think our B, C, and D is, I think nationally, probably that's about the same for the most players. But, We do got some pretty solid Champ Flight players so far signed up this year and are going to be signing up. So based on 2021 when we first started compared to this coming up year, there's going to be a lot better champ division.
So what is the New York upstate? What does that area look like?
It's nice. It's very rural, but a lot of mountains. The Adirondacks are nearby. The Catskills are near us. A lot of lakes that we have in the local area, but bent grass is the golf courses mainly in the area, but it's nice. Albany itself is the capital of New York, obviously, and it's a small city compared to New York City. Most people say, where you're from, New York, they say, oh, the city, and they forget that there's the rest of the state. But, overall, upstate is basically you own land, you're going to have, or if you own a home, you're probably going to have an acre to 4 in total. There's it's busy, but it's not at the same time. But golf is pretty big around this local area. Since COVID, I think nationally it's been, grew, but, even in this local area in the past 3 years has been much bigger than it has been. You used to be able to call a course up and get a tee time, but, right now it's more difficult because a lot more people are playing, which is good.
Right.
To get them on board with the tour. But
so when do you actually get to start playing golf? Look schedule a little bit, but what for the normal golfer, when obviously you're not playing now, when will the courses be open again to start playing?
Probably late April. I know our first event is May 11th, but I think day after Christmas, I was out playing on a local course because it was actually like near 50s. So there's about three courses in the area that are actually open all year round. They're not the nicest, but they're par 4 and 5, 72 par 72 courses. So, some of the crazy golfers, are getting out as best. I think Friday is supposed to be 50 degrees in New York, and some of the snow is going to be gone before then. So there'll probably be people playing. But overall, everybody in New York in this area, all the courses open around the end of April usually.
Yeah, Chris, you want to move up there?
No, I'll pass.
No,
Thanks.
We play indoor. We play indoor golf now.
So you have some indoor places that you play.
Yeah, I every Saturday, I do a indoor golf league. I do use it as a way to promote the tour. I open it up to anybody who wants to play on our Facebook media page we have for the Golf Week Tour. I also send mass texts out to players who want to play, and then when they show up, we have like a piece of paper with the Golf Week Tour logo on there. I have my business cards there for people to use if they haven't been there before. We put up that red banner, by the door, just so people, when they come in, they get a feel of, some of what the tour is, right, even though we're playing indoor. And we do like different formats and stuff just to make it fun, team formats like 2-man scrambles or, a 4-man team, 2 best balls. There's just something fun just so people can get out and swing during the wintertime, get better. I know simulators are not as accurate as outside, but hey, it's better than nothing in my opinion.
Yeah, you like you said, you're out there swinging, and Chris, they have them up there for the cold weather. Maybe El Paso should be getting some, for July and August when it's too hot to be outside. What do you think?
No, I'd still rather be outside.
You can make some money off those. Yeah, which is funny, about 5 years ago, we probably had about 2 or 3 simulators in the area. And I think now this year, there's up to like 28 to 30 now in the local area. So they're actually growing these indoor places because, a lot of people are just trying to get out now and get out of the house during the wintertime, and skiing and stuff. The winters haven't been the same as it has been. We don't get as much snow as we did, 5 years ago. So, and skiing is getting expensive. You're talking $180 for a day of skiing when you can go pay, $30 or $40 indoors to play, courses that are, normally you wouldn't be able to play, because simulators are pretty cool at how the technology is now. So
is that what it costs, for a round? I guess you pay by the hour,
Yeah. I mean, we for Saturdays, we got a nice deal. The course that or the place we use is called Next Gen Indoor Golf, and they're one of our sponsors for the New York Upstate. So they give us a good deal, $40 a man for 4 hours worth of golf. So we're playing anywhere between 18 to 27 holes. So this past Saturday we played Harbortown. So I couldn't make the icebreaker, so I said I'll play where it's 75 indoors.
That's actually a pretty.
That's
good
not
deal.
a bad idea.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's actually cheaper to play, indoors sometimes and out. But obviously, you're just not getting the the outdoor feel. You're more stuck into a bay. So
Right.
The numbers, they use TrackMan, so I think the numbers are pretty accurate overall. With your swing, so I think it reads it pretty good.
Yeah, but the putting and chipping is really suspect though.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends. Sometimes you play one bay and the speed is at 8 on the greens, and then one is like 11. But I mean, it's definitely better than it was. The TrackMan has a good format. So, but yeah, you're not going to go chipping in an indoor simulator and go out and be Phil Mickelson outside.
Right.
Yeah. Because you're always on a straight flat lie, no matter what your lie is. You're always on a flat lie. You're not like outside.
Exactly. But again, it's you're playing golf with the guys. It's the social aspect and some of those other things that go along with golf and being part of the tour. That's important as well.
Yeah. So far, I mean, it's been huge. I've been doing that this is the third year. Or the second year that we've been playing indoors, and we probably have gotten maybe 20 to 28 members last year that we met through the indoor golf.
That's awesome.
So it really is a good way of just sharing what the tour is about and meeting the people throughout the winter. So by the time you go out in the spring, you already know each other. So
Right.
You're like, hey, let's go outside now.
Tell about the schedule and some of the highlights that you got coming up for the 24 season.
Currently right now, we're building the schedule still. I believe we have 10 events so far up on the schedule. I'm looking to get about 15 at the end of the year. One of the big highlights of this year is we got a course, it's called the Ranch, which is about 40 minutes east of Albany. It's in western Massachusetts. We played there last year, but it's a phenomenal course. We got 2-day there. We have 3 other 2 days this year coming up. But overall, I mean, the schedule this year is a lot of good, solid courses. A couple of new ones that we've had this year. There's another course in Turning Stone, which is out. It's at a casino resort in Western New York. One of the top, probably the top 10 in the local New York area. I think there's one course that's rated the top 3 hardest in New York. It's called Kaluuya. But we're playing Shenandoah at Turning Stone. But, a lot of the local courses, this year, the ones that we have in the schedule are going to be really good. A couple of private coming up, semi-private we're getting this year. So the schedule is going to be really good this year. I'm really excited for what's coming.
That's awesome. Tell me about the Father's Day shootout. Do you get a lot of father sons, father daughters out for Father's Day?
Yeah, this year when I first initiated the schedule for that particular course, I wasn't even thinking Father's Day. I myself, I don't have any kids or anything, just a dog. But one of the guys, he's like, "Hey, that day's Father's Day, right?" And I'm like, "Okay." I said, "Well, if I'm a father, I definitely want to golf instead of hang out with kids sometimes." But that's just me. But the Father's Day shootout, I mean, essentially what I'm looking to do is, whoever can go out there, and we're playing early that morning. So, based on that course, I know it's going to take less time to get through the round. It's a smaller course, but it's challenging. But we've already had about 4 members asking if they can bring their son with them to play on the tour this year. They're all over the age of 16. But, they're excited for that particular tournament because they are going to bring them with them. So I figured, why not call it the Father Day shootout,
It's a great time to do it. We had last year in Atlanta, we did a combination tour with the Upstate Tour. And it just so happened that I think we had 7 father-son combination. for the first tour. I kind of did a little side prize for the winner of that, and that kind of gave me the idea to do something for Father's Day as well. And it just so happened that on that day, father won the D flight, son won the C flight. So that was also kind of a good thing that came out of it.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, so we didn't want to do anything for Mother's Day though. That's a little bit of a different subject. You don't want to do that.
No, you don't.
You learn that one early. You don't play Mother's Day.
Yeah, I learned that the first year when I put one on the schedule, because I'm I don't have any children, so I'm married. My wife and I don't have kids, so Mother's Day to me is just another Sunday. But
right.
And my mom lives in Myrtle Beach, so she's down in South Carolina. So of course I can't just get in the car and go hang out with her for the day. And the guy's like, we can't do Father's Day. My wife would, destroy me. And I'm like, okay, fine. We'll move it to the Saturday then.
Exactly.
But Father's Day, we'll probably get a good crew for that one, for that event. I'll probably do something, special for that event, or, get a special trophy or something.
Yeah. So also tell me about the Ranch Golf Club. You mentioned that, and that's Oh
yeah, we played it. I played it before on my own, but it's a really nice course. I mean, a lot of hills. Some of there's a par 5 on the back 9 that has a 300-foot drop off the tee. So you can really crank a drive. It's like 580 yards. But last year I remember hitting a driver and I had about 158 yards in for my second shot. But you're so far up. But it's just overall, I mean, the course itself is very pristine. I mean, there's water everywhere. It almost feels like you're down south, because a lot of it's all lined up with, homes. Because a lot of the courses in this local area, you don't get, houses lined against fairways or rough. A lot of it's woods, because, we have a lot of woods up here. So there's a couple of courses, that one especially, almost feels like I'm down south. It's just, obviously we have hills,
right.
A lot more mountains, but just a real nice course. The greens roll nice and smooth there. They're real fast. We played a one day there last year, but everybody who was there, they just absolutely loved it. And I asked them that night after the event, and I said, can we hold a 2-day in 2024? They said, absolutely. And I said, all right, great. How about July? All right, we'll book you in now. So
nice.
Well, that's the way to do it. If you can book, next year before you leave, that's perfect.
Yeah, that's what I try to do each and every time. Some of them just don't allow it based on their system. They have to wait until January or something. But we got another course in June 1st and 2nd at Normanside. That's our first 2-day. I call it the Masters at Normanside. That's a semi-private course in Del Mar. Really great course. Got a lot of high fescue. You can't miss the fairway because they like to keep the rough as high as Bethpage black. And, that it's just a great way to start your season. The first 2 events that we're playing in May are going to be a little bit of an easier course, just so we can get I'm going to call one of them the Shake Off the Rust tournament,
Right.
And then come June 1st, when your first 2-day major is happening, they're going to get a nice taste of, a nice, be smart off the tee, hit it in the fairway, or you're going to be, ripping that wrist to get it out of the rough. So,
yeah, it's time to get serious in June.
Yeah, I would love to get Bethpage black, but it's a walking only course, and there goes our older field.
Yeah.
That course is amazing, but yeah, a lot of good courses this year. That myself, I know that when I build the schedule, I like to build it not only to benefit those who are lower handicaps, but obviously, I want to make sure that those that are in C and D and B flight, they also can, have where they're not getting too frustrated either with the type of difficulty of the actual course. So that's what I try to build my schedule around, is just making it good for everybody and combined. Not too easy for champ, but not too hard for D.
Right.
But also an experience that they're not going to get, with the course, and how beautiful the course may be, or, a lot of the times, a lot of these guys, they've never even considered playing this course, because I would never think to drive 40 minutes to, the ranch or to Turning Stone, or, they just play the local courses they know because they feel intimidated. But once they get going, they're going. They're loving it.
And that's kind of what you want too, right? I mean, you want them trying courses and playing with different people, and and having that overall tournament experience.
But a lot of the group of guys we have so far that's been there for the past 3 years. I mean, the friendships that we've had. The first year we had 15 at nationals. This past year we had 14. We all stay at the house together. We rent an Airbnb, and we're still talk each and every day. We have guys are hanging out, playing golf outside of tournaments or calling each other up. So, I mean, the friendships that I've gained in the past 3 years, I mean, you wouldn't get there anywhere else, by just playing it. And I mean, that's what really people who are new for this coming year, they're going to go to these events and they're going to just see how much fun you're going to have. They're going to meet these new players. And then before you know it, they're sharing a room in Hilton Head.
Exactly. There you go. Right.
Yeah.
Adam, thank you so much for taking some time with us today. I really do appreciate it. I know it's going to be a while before you guys can get back out, but hopefully this spurs some excitement and, it gets that membership going and looking forward to the your first tournament on May 11th.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually myself going to the 4-ball in Myrtle Beach in February, so I'm looking forward to that. I'll be going down there. One of the guys, my partner in that tournament, actually, he played indoor golf 3 weeks ago, and I asked him, he's a higher handicap. He wanted to really play in one of these regionals, so I asked him to go down to Myrtle Beach and play, and he just signed up 3 weeks ago. He's going to be my partner down there. He's excited. He can't wait. He's never played. He just played. He started golfing a year ago, and he's already breaking 95 on a daily basis. So it's really good. We're excited for that. We're going to drive down to Myrtle Beach, get a few rounds in before the actual event. So looking forward to that.
Well, that 4-ball event's it's a good time.
Yeah, I mean the Love and to Die course at Barefoot. I've played there numerous times. Like I said, when I go down there and visit my mom, I just go to like TBC Myrtle Beach, Barefoot, a lot of different courses. But those courses are beautiful, the Love and Die. So looking forward to that tournament big time.
Yeah, absolutely. So, if you guys want to come down, for any other tournaments, we'd love to have you in Atlanta. And as you know, there's a bunch of regionals in that in the Myrtle Beach area this year too.
Yeah, I think there's another one in June or July.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I like to look at the regional. I know some of the guys up here. One of the guys already went to Harbortown for the Icebreaker. He was down there. A couple of guys are looking to plan to go to Innisbrook in Florida in April. So the New York Upstate, some of the guys are really just taking advantage of, what we have to offer as a tour, not only locally, but nationally. I think there's one guy going to California for vacation, and he's looking to play in one of the events out there. So,
well, those courses that Don Risner gets those guys on are top-notch courses. Every single one of them.
Yeah, I see him on Facebook and stuff. But that's the one thing that really gets the new members when they sign up. They're just, wait, I can go play anywhere in the nation? I was like, yeah, I mean, if you take a vacation somewhere and there's a tournament in the local area, you can just sign up and play as a member. I was like, oh, I thought I just paid to become a member and play in only New York. I said, no, you can play in any of those that are on the website, any tour, any regional. And they just, obviously you get the merchandise for the pro shop that really, really excites people when they see that. And, that's obviously fantastic that Dennis and then offer that for new members, and any member each year you can get that $50. So that's huge. I mean, I personally enjoy the shirts. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be an exciting year.
We're looking forward to big things from you. Hopefully, you'll be at that 125 member level this year.
Yeah, that's my goal. I was at the directors meeting this past year, and everybody's I was almost at 100, and I was like, man, I need to get there. So, things are good. I'll be on my car. Actually, I have an advertisement for the Golf Week Am Tour, with the QR code on there. So a couple of people have already seen it and called me about it. We're getting the word out now this year as best as we can, just to keep building our numbers up and just to introduce something that these guys are they're going to love. I mean,
Right.
I haven't had one guy yet go to an event and say, I'm never playing this again. They just, when's the next one?
That's the next one.
When's the next one?
That's what I want
Or
to
if
hear.
they,
Right?
or yeah, they had that first event where they lose by one, they get mad. So they're hitting the range up the next day and they haven't been in a range, all their life. And now they're hitting a bucket of balls, getting lessons,
Exactly.
buying new putters and buying new drivers and getting fitted because they see it. They love it.
That's great. All right, bud. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, we'll see you. Thanks.
Nice meeting you.
You too.
So now another director starting up a tour. We've had plenty of them that have had seasoned time as directors. You included. But it's nice to hear from new directors and their mindset behind it and how they actually got started to do this. Kind of like how I did, become a player first. Enjoyed the tour so much that you just stick around, and next thing you know, you're getting asked to run the tour, which is something that I don't think you expect when you start playing in these events. But it sure is nice to know that people can see you as the director of something so big.
Yeah, and in upstate New York, it's really no different than places like Michigan or Chicago or Minneapolis or Milwaukee or places like that, where the golf season is really short. And so you've got a short time frame to grab golfers' attention to get them to join, and he's doing a really good job with numbers and has really grown it over the first 2 years, and I'm sure that this year going to grow even more.
Oh yeah, I mean, just to look at the fact that just taking it outside the box as well, and doing these indoor golf events. They're not going to get points, but they're going to get members to come in and get to meet each other and get to know each other in the off season and get ready for when they are able to get out to the course. Something that, might be a great idea for other tours out there that are up north. But keeps everybody, we're always looking for something to keep everybody together in the off season. Us fortunate that get to play year round, we get to have these little events, these 2-man scrambles, this and that. But the guys that can't golf, at least he's figured out a way to incorporate them all.
Yeah, get them involved with golf and around each other with that social aspect. And, it's relatively cheap, to do what he's doing, compared to even playing a round of golf.
Right. I completely agree with that.
So good on him for that. Keep up the good work. And like I said, I'm really looking forward to, to seeing what the numbers look like. And he's got him on some good courses this year too.
Yeah, if people are going to complain, they're not going out there and playing these courses that he's gone out there to get everybody ready for.
Exactly. I do like his mentality. We'll give you a couple of easy courses in May, but come June 1st, it's time to get serious, and we're going to play some serious golf. I like that mentality.
I mean, yeah, that's what most of us do. We start off pretty easy. Get the new members accumulated or accustomed to playing golf tournaments, and then boom, we're right at it.
Yeah, I guess I'm a little bit meaner. So we're playing a tough course. I may shorten it up a little bit, but not even too much. I don't give them too much of a break. We're going full bore right from the get go.
Man, just cutting them quick.
Exactly. No lift clean in place, playing the ball down, all that stuff, man. We're playing golf.
Well, there you go. Good luck.
See?
Good luck to anybody out there that is a part of his tour.
See, no, I do cut them. I do cut them a little bit of a break. But in Atlanta, we don't have any real easy courses. They're all tough championship level courses, but I do shorten it up. At least through middle of April. Because that's
good.
We also get weather, so we get rain, and a lot of rain in March and April. So where the courses are in good shape, it's generally very wet.
Oh, I see. Yeah, we have dry weather year round, so the courses are usually, for the most part, they're pretty the same all year long.
Right.
But if you haven't played, West Texas winter golf, it's a lot different.
What does that mean?
Because the grass isn't as high, the ground you'll hit and still get a 40-yard roll because it rolls down a little bit farther. Putts are a little bit slicker, but you have to get used to it. So I guess looking at it that way, I make it tough because we start in the winter golf, but you get used to it pretty quickly. And if you don't, then you're going to be struggling for a while.
All you got to do is, just hit low stingers and they'll just run out for you.
Sometimes we hit low stingers on accident because we top a lot of shots. And then it gets there farther than we would like it to. But we know how to hit the stinger. It's just not on command.
Not on purpose. I understand. So you went out to Arizona after Vegas.
Yeah.
What's going on in Arizona?
So Arizona had their kickoff event. It is a special event for me because it was Gabe's first Tucson event when he became Tucson director. I wanted to go support him, and he's had it at the same course every year since he's been director at Tucson. Then when he took over all of Arizona, it's been the same course every year. So it holds a little piece of my heart. And, luckily I when I went out there the first year, I won and haven't won since, which kind of stinks, but great course. So Sawalo Golf Club, I believe University of Arizona calls that their home course, the Wildcats. So, it's going to be a tough course all around. Love seeing the Arizona guys out there and love it when I have the belt in my possession and able to show it off, in case they forgot what it looks like from November till now. So I was able to go out there, but it was a little bit, of a sadder event because we did lose one of our close friends from Arizona, battled cancer for 8 years and finally wasn't able to battle anymore. And we lost him the day before the tournament. So it was nice to see everybody, kind of be there for everybody. And funny story. I mean, I know it's funny story is not probably the right words for it, but whenever I take the belt with me to their tournaments, I tend to show it off a lot. And my buddy Sean Downs would always take it from my cart and hide it somewhere on the course or give it to somebody else to hide. And I always knew it would happen. It's like clockwork. It's gonna happen. And sure enough, I didn't even realize it was gone from my cart. So I got to the first hole and I was like, wait a minute, where did it go? And my riding partner, who was a friend of mine from El Paso, was like, I don't know. I put it here, kind of showing it off. And I thought you took it back to the car. I was like, no, I didn't take it. So, a piece of me remembered, hey, Sean used to always take this. I won't get really upset about it. I'll get it at the end of the round. No big deal. Round ends. They bring it back to me. They're like, oh, you're missing it, blah, 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 kind of making the joke. And then I told them the story and they're like, wow, we didn't even know that would happen every time you bring the belt. I was like, yeah, every time I brought it, Sean was there, it was gone. So it was kind of like I don't know how you say it, a cosmic event that happened. I don't know, but it was something that we could share. He is truly missed by a lot of members up there in Arizona and the guys I've known from El Paso. But it just shows, as we talk about on this podcast, that the tour is more than just 40, 50 guys going out to play a golf tournament.
Yeah.
And you get to know these guys very well, and it becomes something bigger than that.
Yeah. And, it's a lot bigger than that. And he was playing as late as national championship. So he was in Hilton Head.
Yep.
For the national championship this year.
Yeah. And, we were talking about stories, and one of the guys mentioned that he told Sean, we need to get you out there and we'll help get you out there because, it's not the same when you're not there, and we all travel as a group. So they got him out there. I got to spend time before you and me went and had dinner at Nationals with him and, just talking and talking shit to everybody and talk about the Ryder Cup coming up and things like that. Like it's always a good time. And, you never know when it's going to be the last time. And I wanted to make it a chance to maybe go see him. Wasn't able to. I know Gabe and a couple of guys went to go see him. And from what Gabe was telling me, he was actually trying to make it to the event to see a couple of the guys he hasn't seen in a while. Unfortunately, what happened, but his memory will live on. And like you said, earlier in this podcast, it's almost hard nowadays to find somebody who hasn't been touched by cancer. And the fact that we're there for them and be able to hopefully help them out throughout it is what the most we can do. And I know as a tour we have been, and we're going to continue to do things for that.
Yeah. And not just our players, but players' families. what the tour means, and knowing that that's an outlet for them or their family members, and that it's the tour's like family,
Right. I mean, one of my assistants lost his father to cancer last year, and we're dedicating his favorite course this year to him in memory of him. So got some things planned. I don't want to put let all the cats out of the bag right now, but it's going to be a good event, and I can't wait to get that one started.
And just the other day, I know you had sent me that email about Sean, but just almost like right after that, Chris Crook, who's the assistant tour director from Indiana, Western Kentucky, his brother has a very rare form of cancer he just found out about. So, thinking about him and his family and thoughts going out to that. It's cancer is ugly. It really is. When you have, and I don't want this to sound wrong, right? But when you have regular cancer or cancer that everybody is aware of, it's one thing. But when you have a rare form of cancer, and from what I understand, this is the rarest form of cancer that Chris Crook's brother has. That's even more, at least in my mind, traumatic, because we don't even know how are we going to treat this if it's that rare, right?
Right.
Hopefully they've got a good treatment plan and they're aggressive with it and get it taken care of. I can't imagine what the family's going through.
Yeah, it's tough. It really is. Our thoughts and prayers are out to anybody who's dealing with it, whether it's immediate family, friends, somebody a coworker. It's ugly. All we can do is be there for them.
Right. Hopefully provide a little bit of solace to them and their family, and support.
But on a positive note, I still didn't build my putting. My putting was still bad out there, but I didn't lose a golf ball, which is nice. But yeah, I mean, and then we have our El Paso kickoff event at the course that we have our kickoff event every year, Sonoma Ranch, where we won the Ryder Cup. In case Gabe's listening, getting to see the amount of memberships that have come in January, keeping my fingers crossed that hopefully we win the tour monthly member competition that we're having with the directors, because I know my members would love to have a free entry fee to nationals that we raffle off.
Yeah, we've got. I think it's got some work to do. We've picked up some, but we've not picked up at rate I would like.
Right.
Well, did you just see that?
Little bubbles?
Yeah, where'd that come from?
I don't know. What are you playing with over there?
Dude, I didn't do anything. I scratched my arm. That was weird. Dude, I didn't do anything. I swear. That's bizarre.
If only this was a video podcast.
It was like the thumbs up, like the bubble. I'm going to have to, I generally don't watch the video portion of this, but I'm going to have to go back and watch it. And this probably won't get cut out, just so that you know.
That's fine.
I've lost my whole train of thought. Oh, but anyway, we haven't picked it. We haven't got we haven't kept the pace that I would have liked. So, we got a few days left to pick it up, and put it this way, as long as we're gaining more members, that's all I can ask for. Hopefully we'll be lucky enough to win. Hopefully we'll beat you by one, and we'll get that.
I won't hear the end of that either.
We'll get the free entry and raffle it off. So anyway, but we also do have it's almost the end of the month, and we got to get some shirt entries.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten a bunch of text messages from my members asking, what are the details? Can I wear this shirt? Can I wear that shirt? And I just tell them, look, if you think it's unique, post it. You remember, you got to have it worn the entire round, no cover up. Like, people need to see this shirt, and you need to post it, and you need to tag the Golf Week page, and you need to use our hashtag so we can see it. Because if we don't see it, then you don't get to put your entry in. I did get a question asking, it's not a polo, but it's a golf shirt that's unique. I mean, enter it, see what happens. I'm not gonna tell you no. It's a golf shirt. Make sure your tour director and the course is okay with you wearing that shirt the whole time. I guess that'd be my main thing.
Yeah. So if anybody's wondering, all the rules can be found in there's a link in the show notes for all the rules. And the hashtag is hashtag GW Podcast Shirt Challenge. It's hashtag GW Podcast Shirt Challenge. There's a link to the rules in the show notes. You could also go to the Golf Week Facebook page and see the post that Nichole did on this, and that also has all the information.
Yep. So let's start seeing some shirts. I mean, January is almost over. Heck, if we only get one entry, guess what? That one entry already wins. And we don't have to pick one.
That's right. And there's lots of tournaments going on, in January too. So let's hope that players' sake that they're listening and will submit their entry because, I think it's $750 national championship this year.
Right. For a free entry, I mean, a chance for a free entry.
Well,
you're already, think about it. You're already in the bracket because you're January.
Right.
So it's already, an eighth of a way from winning.
Mm-hmm. And you can win the monthly competition more than once.
There you go.
Obviously, it has to be different shirts, but I mean,
right. So
all you have to do is wear a shirt.
We're not leading anybody to. We're not getting any insider information. We're letting out there for everybody to know. But if you're listening, you get that extra tip over the rest of the members that may not know, or the tour director may not have said anything about it yet. But I know I have, and I know a couple of guys that have reached out asking if they can wear this shirt or wear that shirt. And you do what you want, but if you enter it and you're the only shirt, congratulations. I might as well shake your hand now for at least making it to the bracket portion.
We'll see. Let's make it happen.
Yes, sir. I can't wait. I'm excited for it. I wish I could enter because I'd be okay with a couple of shirts I have, but apparently employees of Golf Week can't enter.
You can't enter. Podcast hosts. It would be a bad look.
Hey, remember, we're not voting. We're not voting. It's I'll take the 8th seed.
We'll see. That's where we do have the where we have some leeway, by seeding them, right?
Right. And that I can't wait for that because I think that episode that we're gonna post on just seeding the shirts is gonna be a hoop.
Yeah, that'll actually have to also be a visual as well.
Right. I think we might have to have maybe the person, and we're not gonna give names. Maybe the person that started this whole conversation with the shirt he wore. Maybe he can be a guest on here and help us out.
Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, I do enjoy it though. That's just you and me. Because I mean, you saw in Vegas, people are listening, and people are getting excited. People are getting excited for us to travel now and get to some regionals out there. So be ready. If we call you to interview, get ready. And like we told all the champions in Vegas, you don't get your trophy and award until you come talk to us for 5 minutes.
Until you have a sit down.
Yep.
Like the Godfather.
Yeah. Come on. Let's talk for a little bit.
It's too bad that you weren't there the last night. Went to dinner with Gabe, and I forget his friend's name off the top of my head. Oh my goodness.
Jason?
Yeah, I think it was Jason. He was. So it was Gabe, Jason, me, and Dennis. We were talking about the hot tub incident at. Just ask Gabe if he's going to get in the hot tub.
Okay, I will the next time I see him.
That's in that text message I replied to the other day was with I didn't get it from the hot tub because I wasn't in it. So
I saw that. I was a little confused, but I let it go. Pretty sure it was. I can't wait to ask.
Yeah, but apparently, what happens in Vegas doesn't actually stay in Vegas because I brought it back and got Jen sick and I think Jennifer's sick now. So
you must have gotten it from the plane ride.
Well, Dennis and I were on the same flight.
You weren't?
No, we weren't.
But from the airport, maybe, because I didn't get sick. Gabe didn't get sick. And I think we spent all 3 nights hanging out.
Yeah. Maybe it's because I love Dennis.
Hey, a family show here. Family show.
Let's leave it on that.
Yes.
All right,
You can
my
ask
friend.
us in person when you come interview for the podcast. We'll tell you the story then.
Be funny.
That's like a James Brothers story. You don't say it unless you're in person.
Exactly. But we were good. We didn't get in trouble.
No, we were
Didn't do anything wrong.
enjoyed probably too many fireball shots on the second day, but I needed something to help me. That round was rough. It happens. I was talking too much trash to Kevin Durant about being a director, and he turned it around on me.
You don't start talking trash till after it's all over with.
Yeah, it's better when it's at the beginning. All right, my friend. Well, you be safe, get better.
All right.
And we will get with you the next time.
All right, man. Have a good weekend. Good luck. If anybody has any questions, please send me an email at timnatc@amateurgolftour.net or Chris
At El Paso at amateurgolftour.net.
All right, we'll leave it there. All right, my friend. Have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yep, likewise. Have a good one.
Chris, we didn't do it again.
What didn't we do?
We didn't say how to join the tour.
That's right. It's simple. All you need to do is go to amateurgolftour.net, click the Join the Tour button, and pay your local tour's membership.
Thanks, Chris. Membership for 2024 is open, so register today to join the oldest, largest, and best amateur tour in the country.